let out a frustrated grunt as my goggle-covered eyes were seeing townhouses instead of robbed stores. The townhouses had bars in the windows and groups of children and teens gathered at the entrance of them. I felt the world snap back to normal as I stopped in front of one of the townhouses. I was met with the sound of panicked mutters as I scared a group of black guys who were hanging out on the stairs drinking some beers. It was a reaction I was used to at this point, and I couldn't really blame anyone for it. If I saw a 5'11" teenager with a pair of swimming goggles over his eyes and an old red striped headscarf over his mouth just appear out of nowhere, I'd be freaked out too. I looked like a sad excuse of a burglar with my red rain jacket and gray jogging pants. This ridiculous outfit is the amazing supersuit my best friend Jordan decided to put together and forced me to wear whenever I'm out doing my hero thing. He also decided to add a pair of biker gloves to the getup because of a rant about the government being able to find out my identity by analyzing my fingerprints or something stupid like that. Anyway, the point was, I get why I would freak some people out. The guys near me began to murmur about my sudden speedy entrance. I ignored them and pulled out my phone. I opened up Google Maps and entered one of the shops I was supposed to be saving right now. You see, I grew up in the suburbs just outside the city, so I really didn't know my way around the city too well. I can't really use Google Maps either because Google didn't really take into account of a kid that can go faster than a Formula 1 car would need GPS. Dang, I need to rank a ride on St. David, not McDaniel, I thought as I realized I was supposed to make my turn a street ago. Maybe I should have taken Jordan up on my offer to be my navigator. I stuffed my phone back in my pocket and let out a frustrated sigh. How come comic books skip the part where the hero has to memorize the entire city layout in order to save people? Honestly, with all this street memorizing, I might as well be preparing for my geography test. Hey kid, aren't you the guy from the bank? One of the guys on the stairs asked. I turned to the stairs and saw the two guys had their phones out and recording me. Yeah, that's me, I replied, trying to sound confident. Hey Goggle Man, why'd you freeze up at the bank? Did they stop your power or something? Another guy who was recording asked. My heart quickened as my mind wandered back to the face of that young man. He was a light-skinned boy with long blonde dreads. I didn't know why he was in the bank. He looked like he was younger than me, maybe a freshman. His braced face was so relieved when he saw me start taking out the gunman. Then a loud gunshot echoed in my ears. I shook my head slightly as I forced myself out of memory. Yeah, you could have stopped the gun, or maybe even the bullets. Are you faster than bullets? How fast are you? Another man questioned. A 17-year-old high schooler is caught on security camera heroically disarming 5 criminals and knocking them unconscious. And what does the world focus on? One mistake I made because I froze up. I saved 12 people from being gunned down, and people don't care about why I couldn't say number 13. It was just one mistake. We all make them. Sorry, I would love to play 21 questions, but I have somewhere to be, I quickly responded, trying my best to shake off the guilt that was building up inside me again. I needed to focus on the crime that was happening now, so I ran off letting the world slow down as I moved down the street. I made my way back down 59th and made the correct turn this time. As I turned, I was met with a sight I wanted to see. A shopping row full of fast food places and pawn shops. I slowed down my run as I looked through the store windows and searched for the people with guns. As I searched, I saw a lot of stores were completely trashed already. It looked like 110 were already collecting their insurance fees from owners. So Jordan was right again, I thought as I made a mental note to thank him later. I nearly came crashing into the sidewalk as I came to a screeching stop in front of the gas station. Through the barred windows of the store, I could see 3 110s standing at the register. They were easy to spot since all 110s always had some sort of orange and white patch on their jacket or shirt. Plus, the rifle I spotted in one of their hands may have also given away slightly. I wasted no time speeding inside the glass door. As I entered the door, one of the 110s with a hoodie was holding a paper bag and was yelling at its Hispanic owner. The owner's eyes were full of fear as he sounded like he was trying to reason with the 110. None of them were having it though, as another 110 moved to start knocking off snack cakes and chips off the shelf. I took a deep breath and played my dad's words in my head once again. I calmed my speeding heart and gathered all the fake courage I had. Hey, you're gonna crush the Cheetos, those are my favorite, I blurted out as I caught the 110's arm who was going for another swing. The guy with the hoodie stopped his yelling as he and everyone else practically jumped out of their skin when they heard me. I have to admit that this is my favorite part of having superpowers. It's so funny watching a tough gangster turn into a kid who pissed himself so quickly. Is that Goggle Kid? The guy I was grabbing announced as he freed himself from my grip. What's the deal with that name? I asked as a tinge of annoyance worked through my body. I don't know, what's the deal with the goggles? The guy responded as he pointed at the swimming goggles. Look, the goggles were my first choice, but it happened, I explained as I adjusted the goggles slightly. My problem is, why is everyone naming me after what I wear? How would you like it if I called you Walmart Jacket Guy? I continued as I pointed out the guy's black and gray jacket that I could have sworn I saw in Walmart last week. The Walmart Jack guy didn't like that comment too much and took a couple steps toward me with an angry huff coming from his big nose. Stop chatting with the hobo hero and stop this kid, a 110 ordered. My heart jumped as I saw a barrel of the rifle aim at me, and the Walmart guy was looking like he was going to shoot. I managed to will my body just to widen my eyes instead of completely jumping. Having a gun pointing at me was one of the many things I still wasn't used to as a hero. As I stared at the gun, my hands began to shake slightly. I didn't want the 11080s to see that though, so I decided to bring out some more fake courage. Really? Guns? I smirked behind my headscarf over my mouth. I'm pretty sure you guys are smart enough to know that that's not gonna work. At least, I hope you are. Don't move, kid, or he gets a head full of lead, a 110 threatened. I turned my head towards the voice and was met with the store owner being held at gunpoint by the hoodie guy. My heart jumped as I could have sworn I saw the barrel of the pistol buried into the dreads of that boy. I shook away that thought. Before the 110 could fully react to me, I had already pushed him away from the owner and over the store counter. I heard the sluggish explosion of a bullet as the 110 fell to the ground, taking a box of Reese's and scratch cards with him. I think the hooded guy began to let out a cuss or something as he got up, but the word came out so slow out of his mouth that I couldn't really understand. I zoomed back around the counter to face the masked thugs. When the Walmart guy finally realized I was standing in front of him, I saw a slow crawl of fear reach his big-nosed face as he slowly fired his rifle. The entire world slowed down even more as a loud bang crawled out of the barrel of the pistol. I was now watching a bullet sluggishly peek out of the barrel like a gopher out of his hole. I stepped out of the way of the bullet and took a deep breath. "You're fine, Troy. You're fine," I thought as a bullet moved past me. Even though I was faster than a bullet, it was still a bit scary watching one come right at me. A few more shots echoed out. I turned my head and saw that they were coming from the 110 with a rifle. He had it now pointed at me and his eyes slowly widened in shock. I took another side step out of the way with more confidence in my stride. Watching these bullets fly at me with the speed of a badly thrown paper ball was satisfying. I felt in control of the situation as I watched the 110 with the hoodie slowly bark orders at his goons, while his bushy brow burrowed in anger. Watching these three thick-headed thugs try to shoot me was almost amusing, until I noticed something. My eyes wandered to the guy behind the counter. His eyes were widened and grief struck his face. That was a pretty weird look coming from someone I was saving, but then I picked up on why he had that look. I turned around and saw bullets piercing the glass window and causing it to cascade to the ground like falling snow. The 110s were destroying the guy's shop, and I was the reason why. I wanted to slap myself for being so stupid, but I decided to put that thought on hold. Right now I need to stop these guys from shooting. I wasted no time charging the group. Before they could get another shot off, I knocked the pistol out of the hoodie guy's hand and snatched the rifle from the other guy's hand. My right hand made a tight fist as I went to punch the rifle guy in the face, but I stopped myself just as I was about to hit. I thought about how much it hurts to super punch someone in the face. Plus, it felt really weird feeling someone's cheek cave in. So I decided to grip the rifle like a bat and whack all three 110s down. Sure, gun whacking was a bit more reckless and violent, but hey, it felt easy as I watched the three 110s fall to the ground after one hit. I laid the rifle on the ground and began to search for something to tie the thugs. I settled for a few $1 eccentric cords and tightly knotted the 110s together. Finally, I took a deep breath and let the world snap back to normal. I looked over at the unconscious 110s and a small smirk crept over my face. I had just taken down 3 gangsters without even breaking a sweat. A few months ago, these guys could have beat me so hard I turned purple. Now I was dodging bullets like I was Neo or a discount Morpheus with these stupid goggles. "What have you done to my shop?" the store owner said in a shaky voice. The smirk I had quickly vanished. I remembered what the 110s had done, or what I may have helped them do. "I'm so sorry, sir, but at least you're safe now," I meekly pointed out as I tried to stand between the owner and the pile of broken glass that was his store window. "Safe? I was safe before you came running in and wrecking the whole place. Now my window was broken. I almost got shot," the owner replied as his widened eyes looked past me in horror at the broken glass. I think the guy's words were more painful than the bullets would have been. I can feel myself sweat even more under my hot rain jacket. My eyes wandered the room as I tried to avoid the distressed eyes of the store owner. It was a look I've gotten a lot ever since I started my crime fighting hobby. That look of disappointment and rage people gave me when I screwed up slightly while saving them. "Who's going to pay for all this damage?" the owner barked, filling the silence I created. Is all I could manage to utter as the false confidence I had with the 110s was quickly being chipped away by this guy. "Are you gonna pay for the damages, kid?" the man continued chipping away. I didn't know how to respond, so I just let awkward silence fill the air. I didn't understand why people were so difficult. I mean, usually in the comics, people are nice to the heroes that save their life. Even if I messed up a little, I still got the job done. I don't see these people dressing up like idiots and risking their necks to save others. I didn't understand what gave them the right to judge. I shouldn't care what they think, but I couldn't help but feel guilty. I didn't want to think about it anymore, so I just did the first thing that came to my mind. I watched the man's lips slow down drastically as I turned and ran out of the shop. I ran a good distance from the shops before I pulled out my phone and called the police to report the incident. After I hung up, I wasted no time sprinting home. I wanted to get as far away from this corner store as possible. The further I ran away, the more I kept rethinking the fight in my head. There was nothing I could have done, right? I thought as flashes of the angry guy entered my mind. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Get shot to save the window? Plus, it wasn't like I was the one that gave the 110s the guns. I did the best I could, right? I didn't want to think about it anymore, so I looked around for something else to distract me. As I looked up and took in my surroundings, a new problem emerged. I stopped my run in annoyance as I realized where I was at. I was all too familiar with a series of abandoned warehouses and rundown apartment buildings around me. I was on the quiet and most deserted 112th Street, when I was supposed to be 109th. I had made the wrong turn a couple streets back, something I did way too often when I was running home. I seriously needed to learn the streets of my own city, but that was a problem for another day. Right now, I needed to— Ouch! I let out a small yelp as something pricked me in my back. I turned to see what hit me, and I was met with something I wasn't expecting at all. Standing in front of me was the sight of a kid I didn't want to see right now. He was holding a slightly bloody dagger. The guy was also dressed head to toe in all black. He had a black hoodie that cut off at the arms. Under the hoodie was a thin black long sleeve. His hands were wrapped in black cloth or maybe tape, and his jogging pants were black. The craziest thing about this kid, though, was that he was wearing a ninja mask, like an actual ninja mask. It wasn't the headscarf outfit I had. No, this thing looks like a real ninja head thing. When I first saw the outfit, I was actually pretty excited about it, but now all the black getup brings me is intense annoyance. I was about to speak when I felt a sharp pain followed by a spreading of warmness in my back. Did the kid just stab me? What the heck was that for, you brat? I frantically asked. I need you to come with me, guy. The ninja calmly responded, completely ignoring my question. I really didn't like how this kid talked. He purposely lowers his voice an octave and speaks with this cold tone like everything he says is extremely important. It's one of the reasons why I hate that he's become my shadowy stalker. Sorry, I'm still not interested in joining the League of Assassins, I joked as I tried to stay calm and mask my fear. I didn't want this kid to know just how much he caught me off guard. The pain in my back and that warmth that I was guessing was my blood seeping didn't help with my act though. I didn't know what the ninja wanted, but I didn't want to find out. We need to talk about your duties, the ninja ordered as he took a slow step toward me. Sorry, Scorpion, but you give me way too much of the creepy murderer vibe. Maybe it's the meth or something, I tried to say, but my words began to slur at the end. My mouth gaped open slightly as I tried to figure out what my words just did. The ninja must have picked up on my confusion and took another small step towards me. I took a big step backwards, or it was more like a half stumble as I slightly lost my balance. I tried to find my footing again, but as I moved, the world around me seemed to wobble a little more than I remembered. It looks like the drugs are starting to work, the ninja pointed out as he holstered the knife in the sheath tied to his leg. My now blurry eyes widened as the fear began to break through my witty defenses. My eyes wandered down to the now sheathed knife as I thought about the pain in my back. I couldn't believe that this Assassin's Creed cosplayer used a coated knife. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. I first met the kid a month ago. It was the week after I stopped the bank robbers, and Jordan had tipped me off about some 110 trying to cause trouble in the Foster family's territory, which would end in a bloodbath. When I sped over there to keep anyone from getting shot, I was met with a ninja kid hopping from thug to thug, taking them out with all sorts of weird weapons. I barely had to help at all as the kid managed to take down 7 110s by himself. I went to ask the kid who he was, and he responded by parading me with insults about how I should have been here faster or if I had a plan of attack. I ended up running from the rant, but since that day I can't get away from the kid. I didn't mind the stalking too much. I can easily outrun him and get away, but him drugging me was a step too far. I felt the world spin more and more as I felt my fear grab hold of me, and all I could think about was running. The ninja began to speak again, but I didn't give him the chance to. Instead, I fully turned around and started to run as fast as I could. My fastest speed ended up being an awkward stumble as I struggled to move my body that felt heavier than a boulder. My powers are gone, I thought as fear flooded in me, and I could feel myself beginning to shake. My heart also began to beat really fast. Your powers aren't going to work for a while, the ninja began to explain as he moved closer to me. No running this time, Mr. Goggles. It's time we had a talk. No, I didn't think that was time for a real talk. What it was time for was me to get as far away from this whack job as I could. Without my powers, this kid could make me his personal punching bag, so I began to frantically stumble away. I know it wasn't very superhero of me to run away from this guy like a toddler who just learned how to walk, but right now I didn't really feel very super. So I ran, or rather speedily stumbled away from Foot Clan Poser. Really? Still running? The ninja yelled with a strong distaste in his voice. Can you at least for 5 minutes pretend to be a hero everyone thinks you are? I gritted my teeth as I felt the comments sink into me, but I tried my best not to think about it. I also didn't want to think about the fact that he was able to keep up with me by speed walking. "Can you just leave me alone, please? I really don't want to talk to Ninja Daddy right now," I yelled as I tried to put a wall of imaginary courage to deflect the ninja's comments. As I stumbled, my heart kept beating harder and harder. It was working overtime like the rest of my body that was slowly giving up on me. Eventually the beating got so fast that shockwaves of pain swelled in my chest. My already sluggish stumble slowed down even more as I clenched my chest. The ninja put a hand on my shoulder and said something, but my ears were ringing now and I couldn't hear him. I was really freaking out as I felt like I was about to die from my heart exploding when suddenly the pain just stopped. My heart slowed down and the world seemed less wobbly than before. In fact, my entire body felt like it was turning back to normal. "Look, Goggles, I'm sick of your attitude. We need to have a talk before we have another bank incident," I heard the ninja say as my hearing returned. I felt my breath shorten as my mind went to the bank. I remember my powers not working as my nerves were getting to me. My mind recreated the gunner's shouts at me that planted my feet in fear as I saw him wave a gun at me. I remember how quick my heart was racing as my brain was thinking how it would feel to die from a bullet. Then I felt a pair of hands shove me. I looked back and saw the braced face push me out of the way. Then the gunshot. I forced my mind out of memory again. I wanted to punch the ninja for making me remember. My fear was convincing me that running was the better option. "Nope, stranger danger," I jokingly responded as some of my fake courage returned to me. It was the only way I could keep myself distracted from the kid and focus on what was going on. I shrugged off the ninja's hand and broke out into an actual sprint. I wasn't going my normal super speed, but it was better than the drugged stumble. The ninja let out a noise of shock before chasing after me. My normal running speed was pretty good, but of course the creepy ninja was faster than me. I could see him gaining on me as I threw a quick glance back. I needed to get away from this guy. I frantically looked around for anything at all to help me. I couldn't see anything, or I was just too freaked out to think straight, so I resorted to plan B. "Stop running and just face me," the ninja yelled as he chased me. "You need to man up to this." "Help! Someone help! He's got a bomb! Fire!" I screamed at the top of my lungs as I ran down the street. I was hoping to get attention of someone who could call the police, or a good Samaritan who could save me. Yes, I realized the irony, and a supposed hero asking for help, but I didn't have to worry about pride. I needed to worry about surviving. I was getting no response to my cries, which wasn't surprising. Most of the people I was seeing were homeless people and drug heads who were more confused and strung out than I was, or just didn't care. I didn't get any luck from a couple of cars that passed by either. "What kind of superhero cries out for help like that?" the ninja yelled as he continued to catch up to me. "The kind that's being chased by a psycho! Help!" I yelled back as I continued to cry for help. As I was trying to call for help, a new idea flashed in my mind. A weapon. I needed a weapon to defend myself. I looked around for something I could use to fight against a knife, and I spotted an alley to the left of me. A bunch of trash is thrown into alleys. There had to be something I could use there. I turned down the alley quickly searching for something. The ninja joined me in a few seconds later. "Would you just stop running and just..." The sound of a broken bottle hitting the ninja in the head turned his demand into a yelp of pain. "Hey, stop throwing the Whoa!" the ninja barked as he dodged a bag of rotten food and a few rocks. Yep, I was throwing random trash at the guy. Not my proudest moment as a hero, but it was the only thing I could think of. The guy was quick though. I got him good with the bottle, but he easily dodged everything else I was throwing at him. Actually, he was also getting close to me with every throw. I should have figured he'd be agile seeing that he's, a ninja. After slipping by another glass bottle, the ninja was right on top of me. His hand went to restrain me, but I reacted quick enough to escape his grasp. I backed up slightly and picked up a broken piece of wood as a weapon. "Really? That's your line of defense?" the ninja annoyingly asked as he pointed out a soggy, half-destroyed piece of wood. "Look, can you just act like an actual hero for at least a second and just listen?" I swung the wood at the ninja and immediately regretted it. He managed to grab my arm in such a way that it sent a jolt of pain in my hand and forced the wood to drop. He was now trying to pull me in closer. "Please let me go," I practically begged as my fear took over completely and I was playing tug-of-war with my arm. "This is what I'm talking about. You're no hero at all. You're just a coward. You have all that power in you, yet here you are, covered in trash, begging because your goofy act failed, and you're too pathetic to do anything." The ninja scolded as he tightened his grip on my arm, and his light blue eyes lit up with rage. Who wants a hero that's not even willing to try to be good at his job? I didn't know what was more painful, the squeezing on my arm or his words. My mind kept thinking back to me watching that kid slowly get shot for me. How his baseball jersey stained with blood because I couldn't do my job. How he hit the ground hard because I was a coward. I let out a yell as I refocused myself and started pulling with my strength, but the ninja was overpowering me. As he pulled me closer, I could feel my heart beat faster, and I felt like the end was drawing near. The end didn't come though. Instead, the biggest smile stretched across my face as I saw the entire world slow down around me. Yes, 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 thank you, God! I thought as I felt my powers rush back to me. I quickly moved my free hand to break the grip of the ninja had on me. With my power back, I was able to easily get out of his grip. I then ran past him, was ready to sprint away from the chaos. When I reached the edge of the alley though, something stopped me. It wasn't the drug knife or fear that stopped me, no. It was just guilt. For some reason, all I could do was feel hate for myself. When I decided to go back to the bank, I thought I finally decided to not be a coward anymore, but I was wrong. I'm still the same wimp that watched that thug rob and shoot up a corner store. I'm the coward that let that kid get shot in the bank. I'm the weakling that couldn't even take out 3 guys without screwing up. Now this ninja's trying to help me fix my mistakes. What am I doing? I thought as I looked back at the ninja who was now slowly turning around to see where I went. No matter what, son, you can't let fear stop you from trying. My dad's words played back to me as I stared at the ninja. This time, I think I would actually understand what my dad was trying to tell me. I let the world snap back to normal as I tried to look at the ninja. His eyes narrowed at me as he tried to figure out what I was planning. After a few seconds of silence, he finally spoke. Why aren't you running? The ninja asked, so shocked that his voice lost some of the deep tone. I was asking myself the same question, at least the fear inside me was, as I was going against all my instincts that was telling me to just zoom away. Instead, I took a deep breath and stepped towards the ninja. Because I think it's time we finally talked, I responded. Hello guys, Chance134. What's up guys? Yeah. Hey look, I upload every week. Hope but seriously, sorry it took so long guys. I'm trying to get better at uploading. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will post more content. I swear, it just takes me three years. Bye.
I'm too soulful, I'm a prodigy. Living lavish, mama proud of me. Making music, moving like an odyssey. I'm too soulful, I'm a prodigy. Living lavish, mama proud of me. Making music, moving like an odyssey.